Yeah, okay, hello. Is that working? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you.
good. Okay, cool. Okay, so hello guys. Welcome to the Scottish Summit and to my session on real life marketing scenarios. I'm so excited and grateful to have you here with me today to talk about one of a few of my favorite things: dynamics marketing, mobile marketing, and Teams integration. And obviously, it wouldn't be my session if we didn't have a bit of sport in between. So that's why I have added a few yoga references as well. So the plan, oh yeah, no, before I tell you what the plan for today is, special thank you to our sponsors who made that possible, because without them, none of it would have happened. So special shout out to ScriptRunner, DQ Global, Proximo 3, Redspire, Agilicis, and Hitachi Solution. Um, yeah, so the plan for today is we'll do quick introductions just to make sure that you know who you're talking to, just to know who you're listening to, and then I'll talk you through my dynamics marketing scenario that I have chosen for you for today. I have chosen a fictitious character, but hopefully it will help illustrate what I want to show you, and then we'll do it based on scenarios. I'll have three scenarios for you. The first one is from the perspective of an end user, so we'll look at the scenario from Jenna's point of view, and then we'll use our second persona, who is the person building the marketing campaign. So this is the marketing manager for working for our fictitious character. And the third scenario I'll talk you through when we come to it, no spoilers. And then we'll jump into the demo, I'll show you it, and then we'll talk about other solutions, because a big part of the demo today is to do with mobile marketing. And just as an overview, you probably know what dynamics marketing is. I showed you it in the session in the Scottish Summit last year, if you made that one, or if you're following me on social media, you definitely know what it is. Dynamics marketing is Microsoft marketing tool that lets you create automated campaigns and just run your marketing, all of your marketing activities. Mobile marketing is not something which is part of out of the box as the product it is just now, but there are other third-party solutions and other things we can do. So what I want to do today in this demo is just really show you my favorite one that I like using and I like recommending to our customers. I'll talk you through why I like it. I'll talk you through how easy it is to set it up. But then just for completeness, I want to give you other solutions as well, just so that you know it's not the only it's not the only solution out there. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's kind of what you were expecting. And I know, so we have some time for questions in the very end, but I really, really want that to be as engaging as possible. So please do ask questions. When we got asked, do we want to present live or do we want to just record it in advance and play the recording? I knew 100% it was going to be live, because I do want you to have that feeling that you can change the way the session goes. I want you to feel engaged. I want you to feel involved. So please ask your questions in the chat. Um, Andrew is our moderator today, so I think he'll be keeping an eye on the chat for us. And then Andrew just send the questions or just read them out loud um, as they come is probably the best thing to do. Cool. So hopefully with that, you know what the plan for the next few minutes, for the next 45 minutes is. So then in terms of introductions, Dilyana Radulova, people struggle to pronounce my name, so that's why I usually people usually call me Didi. So you can use whichever one is easier, really. I am a senior consultant with Incremental Group. Incremental Group is an inner circle partner for the past 2 years at least, and we're also a gold partner. Being in the inner circle puts us in the top 1% of preferred partners of Microsoft in the world. So that's something we are really, really proud of. Within my incremental role, I have been a consultant for the past 7 years, CRM consultant for the past 7 years, dealing with different products within the Microsoft stack. But last maybe 2 years or so now, I've been specializing in marketing, and that's the reason why I'm going to talk to you about marketing today. I have another session, joint session with Caro later on today. Um, so if marketing is not your thing, but you're more interested in things like customer insights, messy data, AI builder, um, that's something that you can, we'll be very happy to have you, and you can check out that other session I'm doing later on as well. When I'm not doing CRM systems, I usually try to get involved with the community because you guys know how it is. You probably can feel all of the good vibes. Today, it's absolutely amazing. There is so much conversation going out there. So it's absolutely lovely community that we have here. And when I'm not doing that, I spend a lot of my time doing taekwondo. So if taekwondo is something you want to talk about, definitely give me a shout later on as well. Cool. So hopefully now we know who we are. Um, I don't think we have any questions in the chat. Let's just make sure before we jump into it. Yeah, cool. No questions so far. Excellent. So that is our first scenario. And for the first scenario, I want you to meet Jenna. Jenna is the first persona that we're going to use. So Jenna is just a normal person in lockdown who doesn't get to do too much. Previously, she likes to do yoga, and previously she has done quite a few courses with Incremental Yoga Center. And this is our fictitious company that we're going to use for the scenario. Incremental Yoga is a small yoga center, but they haven't really struggled with the pandemic that much because they have always had the capability to do their yoga lessons online or in the physical venue. So really, the COVID pandemic just helped them showcase that capability that they have and really differentiate them from all of the other gyms that didn't have that capability. So this is what we're going to showcase you today. And from Jenna's point of view, so the first scenario is from Jenna's point of view, and we'll just follow through the campaign. So hopefully now if I jump to the browser, yeah, you can see that. So now just to set the scenes, Jenna hasn't been very active for quite a bit because we know how it is, how life has been in the past few months. She has done a few courses before, and she has been thinking that going back to the gym was something that she would really want to do, but she haven't had that thing, that tipping point, that thing pushing her over the edge to sign up for that course. So what happens from her point one morning is she receives an email from her favorite incremental yoga center that might look like this. From a Dynamics 365 marketing point of view, that's a marketing email. And what Jenna doesn't know, so she goes through it, and what strikes her is that all of the links and all of the pictures are very relevant to what she has done before, which she just thinks it's a really good user experience. But what she doesn't know, and what I'll show you behind the scenes afterwards, is that all of those things are dynamic content or dynamic sections. So what that means is when we were composing the marketing email, we can use previous information or previous knowledge we have for that customer to drive or trigger what we display. So for example, we know she has done the hot yoga class before, so that's why in her email, that's the link we have put in. So yeah, one morning she receives that email. Obviously, it's something she wants to do. She knows Mondays work best for her, so that's actually ideal. So what she does is she clicks on that link, and what that takes her to is something that might look like this. From a Dynamics 365 marketing point of view, this is what we call the event portal. And event management is a very strong, Dynamics 365 marketing does have a very strong capability for event management, where you can manage venues and all sorts of logistics to do with your event. So from Jenna's point of view, she gets taken to that event portal page where she can have a look at the different sessions. There are different days she can be attending. Um, Maybe I'll make that slightly bigger so you guys can probably see better. Yeah, so there are different session tracks. There is a Friday one, there is a Monday one. It gives her flicking through the different screens gives her a chance um, to see what options she has. What she's really interested to know is whether the yoga instructor who did the course for her last time is going to do the course again. So that means on the portal she can also see the instructors with pictures doing the courses. So that's something that's nice and handy. And we also have some past information for the different options. So as we said, for her, Mondays work best. So once she's gone through the website and she knows what she wants to do, she's ready to register. Clicking the register takes her to the event registration page, which again is part of the Dynamics 365 Marketing out-of-the-box capability. On that screen, she's presented with a screen where she puts her registration details, and she can also choose what pass she wants to do. So she wants to go for the Monday one because, as we said, Monday is the day when she has a bit more time. Then so I want to draw your attention to those two questions. At the bottom. So how do you like to receive your certificate? She has two options. So post online, and then we are also asking how do you want to attend, online or offline? And that could be very applicable to loads of businesses once we start reopening. After all of that madness is hopefully over, because at that point some people will definitely want to do their classes back in the venue as we are used to, but there will be loads of people who would want to do it online. So from a technical point of view, this is a custom field. It's not something that comes out of the box. We can ask as many custom questions or add as many custom fields like this to get more information from people like Jenna at the point of registration. And then why is this important? This is important because after that, when we come to segmentation, we can use those custom fields to drive our marketing campaign in a different way depending on what answer each person registering has given us. So for her, obviously she wants to do it online because she's not really ready to spend all of that time traveling to the venue and back. And then on the event portal, I just want to make sure that I show you the CAPTCHA as well, because CAPTCHAs are not fun, but are important from a licensing point of view. And in every single session, we do get a few licensing questions. So preemptively, I wanted to show you that we can have a CAPTCHA on every portal. Dynamics Marketing is licensed based on the marketing contacts that you have in your database. It is not all your contacts in your database. It's only the contacts that you engage in some sort of marketing activity. But the reason why this is important here is because everybody who registers for one of your events who register for your events becomes a marketing contact. And what you don't want to happen is you don't want somebody who doesn't like you very much to write up a script and use up all of your contacts with fake registration. So CAPTCHAs are important from a licensing point of view and from a security point of view. So at this point, Jenna has received the newsletter. She has jumped to the portal and she has registered for her Monday classes. Then the next thing that will happen from Jenna's point of view, right after she registers, she receives a text message or an text message on her phone to say, thank you so much for registering. We have got your registration. It's all sorted. And because you have chosen to attend your classes online, next Monday in the morning before your first class, you receive a link for your first session. Then the Monday after, you receive another link to join your next session. So at this point, she has complete peace of mind because she knows there is nothing more for her to do. It's all sorted. So the next thing that happens is she goes away with her business, with her life, the Monday after, when the course is due to start. Just as promised, in the morning, she receives another marketing email. We have complete freedom how we design those, but it could be looking something like this, what you see on the screen. Um, and again, so it could be, it's really easy to brand those emails. It's really easy to compose them. I'll show you that in a minute in the second scenario. But the important part from Jenna's point of view is that bit here, the Teams check-in, because that gives us a link to join the session on the Monday afternoon. So from Jenna's point of view, nice and easy, only 4 touch points, but it's really what she was excited with is how easy and how smooth and slick everything was. What she didn't know, and she would have been even impressed by, was the fact that there is no human interaction needed for any of that to happen. I'll show you how we can configure that in Dynamics Marketing just now. We configure it up front, and then the system just does it for you. So this is the scenario from Jenna's point of view, which, as we said, it's our first persona. And now I'll change my slide to the second persona, and we'll check the chat just to make sure if we have any questions. So
No chat questions at the moment. I think we're just
no
enjoying your session.
Oh, wow, good. Maybe everybody likes yoga so much. Exciting. Cool. Okay, so guys, don't be shy. Please do ask questions. Questions are absolutely fine. It makes it more fun for me, and it definitely makes it more fun for you. Cool. So for the second persona in the second scenario, we're going to use Anna. So Anna is the marketing manager at Incremental Yoga Center. When Anna started her working for Incremental Yoga Center, she was a bit worried that she wasn't really technical in the IT technical side of things. She was really good with her marketing campaign and marketing activities, but not with technical skills. So when she got told that she's going to use Dynamics 365 Marketing, that was the first thing she wasn't too sure about. So keep that in mind, because the point I want to show you is how easy and how low code it is to do all of those things for somebody who has those thoughts and doesn't have that level of confidence with super technical things. So from Anna's point of view, if we jump to the system, yeah, cool, you can see that now. So from Anna's point of view, the very first thing she had to do to implement that campaign or that experience that I just showed you is she had to build a marketing email. And if that's the first time that you see a marketing instance, hopefully it strikes you with it being very familiar to any other Dynamics 365 instance that you might have seen, be it sales or customer service. It's just another model-driven app, which really makes life easier if your other employers already know how to use that, because it makes user adoption easier and it makes your life with training much easier. So just like with everything else, we have our links on the site, and we have our sitemap on the site, and we have our links at the top. So marketing email, super easy to create. All we need to do is drag and drop our different components on how to design it from the toolbox to the site, onto our marketing email. But marketing emails, I have done loads of sessions on them, so we're not going to spend far too much time on them, because the first big part of what I wanted to show you, and it's not really a big part because it's so simple to do, but it is really important, is the ability to stream events from Dynamics Marketing. So the integration between Dynamics Marketing and Teams, really. So what you see on the screen now is the next thing that Anna had to do. She had to configure an event. She had to configure an event in Dynamics Marketing. And again, absolutely no coding experience needed here. All she needed to do is just fill in the boxes on the screen. It's all click and point. Um, Andrew, you look like you have a question. Yeah. Mm, yeah, yes, of course. Is that a bit more or is that enough? Oh, and Nicole is saying she feels like she can relate to Anna. I know. So I think that's exactly the point, Nicole. I have heard that from so many marketing managers, which are the worry is usually, oh, well, the system can do all of those amazing things or it has the capabilities potentially, but how difficult would it be? So I do want to keep iterating that point that with with this system, it is really not difficult because it is a lot of click and point type of things and drag and drop configuration rather than writing many lines of very complex code that only a very small handful of people can understand. Um, I think Nicole is saying that she can't hear you, Andy, but it sounds like she can hear me, so we'll just keep going. Yeah, so what we have on the screen now is we have our event. Really easy to configure. We just need the event name, event start date, and some information around the building or the venue and the room layout if we wanted to go into that detail. Then the next part is you have the option to stream your event online. For this one, I have chosen not to because you have two different options. You can stream your event or you can stream the different sessions within your event. Streaming your event is probably better for something which is a one-off thing. So if it was a webinar or um, if it was something that you do in one go, definitely stream your event is the better approach. For our case, as part of configuration, the configuring the event, we configure our sessions. So here I have configured, just to show you, a few a few Monday sessions and a few Friday sessions. So that means once we go into the session, again, same look and feel as we had when we were configuring the event. We just need the session title, we need the start date, end date, duration. And at this point, again, we have the option, do you want to stream it online? So the reason why I was so excited to show you this today is because it's one of the relatively newer features in Dynamics Marketing. For quite some time, the only streaming options we have was a webinar provider called ON24. But as part of it was one of the releases a few months ago, we got Teams as another option for streaming our events. So what that does is you only get those configuration fields if you say you want to stream it, and then when you say that you do want to stream it indeed, you get those options. So you get the options of having stream it as a Teams meeting or a live event or other other could be your, as we said, ON24 provider, or it could be something else that you configure in the system. The difference between the live event and the meeting is really based on how much interaction you want from your audience. So with a live event, it's similar to what we are doing now. The audience can consume and see all of the things that are shown to them, but they cannot, their audio and their video is not going to work. And in a Teams meeting is exactly what we are probably all used to a Teams meeting. They can have all of the audience can have their microphone on, can have their video on, and it's just more interactive. So that's the reason we'll choose this for our Monday yoga sessions. So super easy to configure. All you need to do is flick the switch to yes, and then you need to choose your streaming configuration, Teams meeting, and that gives you a link. And then there is a magical button that took me a while to discover. So just as a handy tip, sync with Teams is definitely something that you want to click. What that does is it makes it show in your calendars. It will show anyway, but it will take a bit more time if you didn't click that button. Clicking that button makes it show, does that sync automatically for you. So yeah, as you can see, it syncs with your Outlook calendar and it also syncs with your Teams calendar. The one thing that I just need you to be aware is a one-way thing. So any changes you make um, to that appointment within your calendar is not going to flow back to your Dynamics marketing system. But that's just something to be aware of. So let's just make sure. Cool, no questions so far. Good. So the next part that Anna had to do as part of running that campaign. So now at this point, she has the marketing email for the newsletter. She has the event. Configuring the event in the system and going live with it gives you that marketing events portal that we saw in Jenna's scenario. So again, not much you have to do on that side of things. Yeah, so we have the event portal and we have the integration with Teams. So first, what we are looking on the screen is a customer journey. A customer journey is, from a marketing point of view, is a campaign. It's where we define all of the different touch points we want to have with with our customers as part of that campaign. It does start with a newsletter, with a segment and the starting point. So a segment is just the starting point. It's a group of customers. Segments, again, not really the point of this session, but I just need you to know that they can be as complex or as simple as you want them to be. Segmentation we can do based on demographic data or based on behavioral data as well. In this case, we just want to send it to everybody who has signed up for our newsletter. So that's all of the people like Jenna who have signed up or have done courses with Incremental Yoga Center before. So that's how Jenna shows up in that segment. The next thing that will happen is she'll receive the email, and that's the email that you guys saw in the first scenario. And then I have put a simple customer journey for you just to show you the concept. The important thing to show you is we can do branching as part of our customer journeys and automations. So here we have added the link to our event or the connection between our email and our event. So that means here we can trigger our branching depending on whether somebody has registered for that event or not. So let's say they have registered, which is what Jenna did. So then she'll go on the positive branch here on our customer journey. So what will happen is she will receive the Viber text message that we had a look earlier with the confirmation. And now I'll talk a bit more about the mobile side of things in our third scenario. So hold your thought just for now. But if we have sent that newsletter and Jenna or somebody else hasn't registered, then they would go on the negative branch of our customer journey. So again, in our example, what I have done is they haven't registered, but I want to know, have they opened the email? If they have, then they have read it. They're probably not that interested. So we don't want to spam them again because it might just get annoying if we keep sending them the same thing. If they haven't opened it though, maybe it got lost. So then we can give them a few days and resend it again. So that's an example of a kind of a relatively simple marketing campaign that hopefully gives you an idea of the different building blocks. The other part I wanted to show you as part of what Anna had to configure was the second part of the email sending, where we send the link to the Teams message, because there is something, if you're building that integration, if you're using that integration with Teams, you just need to be aware of. So for the second part, where Anna needs to send an email to Jenna every Monday morning with a link to the session, the way we do that is we do that with another customer journey. This could be in the same one, or it could have been a separate one. I just didn't want to flick screen, so I have added it here. We start that part of the journey with a segment which is all of the online audience for our event. So remember when I showed you that important checkbox or a custom field in our event where we gave the option for Jenna to say whether she wants to go on site or do it online? That's the flag we have used for segmentation here, because we don't want to be spamming the people who are going to go to the venue with Teams link. It just doesn't make sense. So we start with all of the people who are going to attend it online. We wait until the first day of the course. We send them the email. And then we do that every Monday. But the important thing I wanted to show you here, so this is, we're back to to the marketing email screen. The important thing is, once you configure your event or session to be streamed live or integrated with Teams, you get a link, but you don't want to be sending that link directly to the customers you want to join your session. What you need to do is you need to do it through a marketing email. So the way to do that is you would create your marketing email as you normally would, and you would add that button that I showed you earlier. And the way that the way that works is just another tile in your toolbox. So again, nothing really codey, because all you need to do is find that tile, drag and drop it on your email, and then that gives you a drop down where you can choose your either session or event, and then depending on which one you choose, you get another drop down to choose specifically the session you want to send them a link for. And the reason why it is really important to do that is because this is what the system uses for insights and tracking afterwards. So that's just something to remember and be aware of if you're using that part of the system. So hopefully, I'll go back to I'll share my screen with the slide deck first. We'll swap to the next scenario, but now it's a natural breaking point. So if you have any questions now, it's a good point to just spend a few minutes talking about them before we jump to the next bit. And I can see Nicole has a question. So how difficult would it be to set up Dynamics 365 marketing in an organization compared to other marketing automation software? Would I get support from Dynamics 365, or would it be me? Um, So how difficult? I don't know how we measure difficulty, Nicole. I think that's the one thing here. You would definitely get support from Dynamics 365. If you mean, I think it will depend whether your organization is already using Dynamics 365, because if anybody is using things like Dynamics 365 for sales or customer service, it's definitely an advantage, because it means that more likely than not, you have all of your contact or account database in the system, which really helps because it means you have all of that data to do your segmentation on. So from that point of view, you definitely are in a good position if you're already using some other product within the Dynamics 365 stack. In terms of support, I think it depends from organization to organization. The way we do it, we always give customers training because we want to make them self-sufficient. We would love if customers come to us to build every single campaign they need, but we don't want you to have to come to us come Easter or come St. Valentine's for every single campaign you want to run. So the way we do it is we always give training, and then you choose what part of your team you want to bring to that training. So that means you're never essentially just you looking at it. I don't know if that helps because it's very organization specific question. Cool. So then question 2, Nicole, what are my options in terms of email creation, drop and drag versus text? So I can show you that probably. So that is in terms of drag and drop. If you wanted to do that, you're fine. You have all of your elements within within your toolbox, so you can drag and drop those in your email. If you like code, you also have the HTML editor. So if you wanted to be writing your JavaScript or your CSS here, you can do that as well. Or if you had the markup for your emails from another system, what you can do is you can lift and shift, because you can just paste the markup here as well. So I think in terms of options, those are your three options. You can drag and drop, you can lift and shift from another system, or you can have a hybrid approach where you start maybe with a template. There are a lot of templates within the system, and then you polish them off using some custom CSS and JavaScript. So hopefully that helps with that question. We have,
Hey, DD.
yeah,
I'm just thinking that we have about 10 minutes or so left on the session. So maybe we
cool,
could leave questions till the end, because we do have a few more there. So
good.
yeah, that'd be great.
So we can,
Thank you.
I'll do the third scenario super quickly because questions are my favorite part. So we'll definitely make sure we have some time for questions. Okay, so the third scenario, and it's a very quick one, but I think it's a really important one, is focused around the mobile marketing side of things. So the scenario here is, let's say Jenna had chosen to go to the venue, not to do the classes online. So then obviously incremental yoga center have tried to do their best with social distancing and measures, but let's say somebody has phoned them in the afternoon and said they don't feel very well. So at that point, the decent thing to do is to let everybody know in that session that there is somebody with symptoms, or they have been in contact with somebody with symptoms. So the decent thing for them to do is to self-isolate for a week or so. So this is the situation where Anna is now. She has got that phone call that somebody is not feeling well, and what she needs to do is efficiently let everybody else know um, within that group that they need to self-isolate. What we don't want to do is blank, just email everybody and who hasn't even been in the session, because then that's just going to cause panic. So what I want to show in the third scenario is an option how we can use dynamics marketing, and as I said, one of my favorite third-party tools for mobile marketing as part of our campaign to let people know that they need to self-isolate in that situation. So the first thing that you see on the screen now is again the campaign from Jenna's point of view. She would be sitting in the house in the afternoon, and what would happen is she would get a Viber or a WhatsApp message saying, you need to self-isolate, but don't worry, you can still register for all of our courses. You don't have to be bored, just register here, and you can do your courses online. So from a system point of view, I don't want to say the best way to do that. My favorite way to do that is to use a third-party solution called InfoBab. So InfoBab, as I said, it's not out of the box functionality just now. There isn't an out of the box way at the moment to send text messages or any sort of mobile messages. But it's really easy to do. The way to do that is we would go to App Source and we would click Get Now. InfoBab is a company with headquarters in Croatia, I think. And the reason I like them is because when I was trying out a few different alternatives, they were the ones that had the best support. So I got stuck a few times, I got in touch, and they were really helpful and very quick in their response. So that really gave me the confidence that it is a company I want to work with. So all we would need to do is go to App Source, click Get It Now. As you can see, it's free to install. And then it would ask you for your consent, and it would ask you what instance you want to install it on, and you would choose your marketing environment. Then back to the system. Once your solution has been installed, within the settings area in your marketing portal, you get that configuration record. So you need to give consent and create a new one of those. I'm not going to go into that one because there is an API key that you need to put in. And that's the link between your marketing environment and your InfoBab account. So what you need to do is you need to go to portal.infobab.com, create an account. Again, at this point is free, and there is an API key. You generate your API key from your InfoBab portal, and you just plug it in into your configuration record. And that's literally all of the setup you need to do. I think as part of your registration, you get 50 text messages, and I can't remember how many Viber messages, but a number of Viber messages for free. And then you just buy them in bulk from InfoBab. But so yeah, that's all of the configuration you literally need to do. What that gives you in terms of system capability, it gives you custom tiles, two custom tiles, or two more channels, two additional channels to use as part of your customer journeys. It gives you a Viber channel and a text message channel. The way to use So, okay, let's go through the customer journey first, and then I'll show you how to use them. So what Anna had to do for her campaign is she had to start with, so she needed another customer journey. She started off with a segment with containing all of the people who attended the hot yoga Monday class. And then the next thing that happened is she decided to send them a Viber message. And then it's really cool because we can branch. As part of the solution install, you get triggers within your customer journey based on those two new tiles that you can use. So now I can base my functionality on has the message been sent, delivered, or specific keywords within the message as well. So what I want to do here, for example, is if the message has been delivered, then it's absolutely fine, because from us making sure people are alive and healthy point of view, we're fine. We have delivered that news. But if it hasn't been delivered, then we can implement a fallback scenario or fallback option where we can send them a text message, or we can go even more levels deeper if we wanted to. Then we can see has that been delivered and send them an email if it hasn't, or schedule a task to give them a call and make sure we tell them in person. But hopefully that gives you an idea how easy and how simple it is to implement that mobile marketing campaign from Dynamics Marketing. And just this tile, once you install the solution, becomes like any other tile. If you wanted to add a new one, you would find it in here, click custom tile, and then that gives you your two new options really. And I'm conscious of time, so the only last point I wanted to show you in the system is Viber templates and SMS templates. So that's a new section that you also get as part of your solution install. So you can define as many templates as you want. You can also have buttons, you can have pictures, and you can define all of the different components within your Viber or text message template. So hopefully that helps a bit understanding that scenario. We have gone through the demo, so that's what we just showed you. We spoke about the setup and configuration. In terms of GDPR, by installing the solution, you get two new flags on top of your flags, GDPR flags that you have as part of your Dynamics 365 marketing, which is one for each of the two channels that you get as part of the solution. As we said, you get two new channels. You get a Viber channel and a text message channel. And then you have a lot of stats and insights as well. You can look up your stats and insights from within the marketing app, but you get even more advanced charts and dashboards within your InfoBab portal as well. For completeness, I felt like I had to show you that slide because, again, just because I like using InfoBab doesn't make it the best solution or the only solution. There are many other options that are out there. Telesign is another one I have used. Not my favorite, purely based on the support experience that I had with them. Twilio is another option, or you can implement custom channel because you can trigger a lot of different Power Automate flows, and then you have access to all of your 400 connectors within Power Automate if you wanted to implement your own channel. And something exciting that's coming in, but we don't know too much about, is it has been announced that there is going to be an out-of-the-box SMS message channel as part of the out-of-the-box functionality for marketing. So there'll probably be a better way to do what I just showed you out of the box going forward, but that's going to be in public preview after April 2021. So that's maybe something we can show you next time in the next Scottish Summit. And I know I have rushed a bit in the end, but hopefully that gave you a good overview. That was all I was going to show you in terms of scenarios. So I'll leave that slide with